welcome. Gulzar Sahab has written these beautiful words for this week's film, Darlings. दिल को जहर मिल जाए तो प्यास है हर वक्त की, अंगारों पे चलना भी तो आदत है कम वक्त की, फिर भी ये जख्मों का मोहताज है, लाइलाज है, लाइलाज है, दिल हमारा लाइलाज है. There is a strange power and comfort in arts, cinema and culture. You and I are advocates of all of these. I'm Atika Farooqi. Let's start now showing the journey of cinema with the headlines. Darlings is a memorable film, well crafted, brilliantly performed. It's a must watch for sure. Aamir Khan's co-actor in Laal Singh Chaddha, Rana Daggubati's cousin, Nagarjuna's son, Naga Chaitanya, the superstar of South, on why his family spent over 100 years in the movies. Richa Chadha talks about the film that changed her life and story. And singer Shilpa Rao talks about her song Tere Hawale from the film Laal Singh Chaddha. Let's talk about Darlings that releases on Netflix this week. हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा. Similarly, हजारों हफ्ते OTT अपनी बेनूरी पे रोता है, बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है Darlings जैसा शाहकार पैदा. I'm so happy to watch this film that I'm still singing, Darling. This film is a mix of two genres, tragedy in the first half and dark comedy in the second. Black comedy, also known as dark comedy, is a style of comedy that makes light of subject matter that is serious or painful to discuss. Writers and comedians often use it as a tool for exploring vulgar issues by provoking discomfort, serious thought and amusement for their audience. Here, the painful subject is domestic violence. The two pillars of the film's emotion are the mother-daughter relationship and the husband-wife relationship. The husband is a narcissist, a person who exploits others, lacks empathy, has excessive self-importance and gaslights others by first exploiting and then blaming it on others. Hamza, a ticket collector in a railway station in South Mumbai, had a love marriage with Badrun Nisa 3 years ago. He's often insulted by his superior at work, has little money, a house in a building that needs to go into redevelopment, but he's blocking the process. Again, a narcissist. Badru, that daughter of a single mother but a strong woman, has insecurity issues. She will rather be in an abusive relationship than be single or like her mother. The film has a strong sense of atmospherics. I was pulled into this neighborhood at once. Written by Parvez Sheikh and Jasmeet K. Reen, the script is full of surprises, dark and funny twists, grey characters who talk of killing like buying sabziyan. Debutant director Jasmeet K. Reen keeps the tone and the performance intensity, or rather scale of emotion, consistent throughout the film. The drama lies only in the details and the little things. While watching, you are shaken out of your comfort zone, either because you thought, "Arey, I have also been with," or "I'm still around such a toxic person." And you're also moved by how a film's screenplay can be so strong that you need no spoon feeding in terms of extra dialogues or songs or performance. The character portrayals by Alia Bhatt, Vijay Verma and Shefali Shah is what you will watch with amusement. क्या perform करते हैं यार? They are superstars of performing arts, I swear. It's a spoiler-free review, hence I cannot narrate the story, but believe me, you need to sit down in a quiet room, alone or with family, to enjoy this film. The film is not just entertainment, it makes a point too. Human scorpions, जिनकी फितरत में ही है काटना, उनसे दूर हो जाने का, because it gets too late later. As Rumi said, the wound is where the light enters you. ये मैंने क्यों बोला? ये आपको फिल्म Netflix पर देखने के बाद समझ में आएगा. Now moving on to the star of the week, Akineni Naga Chaitanya. Co-actor of Aamir Khan in Laal Singh Chaddha is an unassuming star of the South. Though he comes from a film family that has over 150 years of cumulative experience in Indian cinema, with both maternal and paternal grandfathers being actors and producers. His cousin Bahubali fame Rana Daggubati, Uncle Venkatesh was a popular Hindi film actor Anadi. Father Nagarjuna is a popular Telugu and Hindi cinema actor. Stepmom Amala Akineni was popular through her blockbuster film Shiva. and the like. He has left his separation from his ex-wife Samantha Prabhu behind him, as his film Laal Singh Chaddha releases in a few days. This is an official Hindi remake of Tom Hanks starrer Forrest Gump that Aamir Khan has taken 10 long years to produce. We sit down to discuss Hindi and Telugu cinema, filmmaking and his character Bala. Hi, Naga Chaitanya, popularly known as Che.
Yes.
How did you get this name, Che?
I guess because Naga Chaitanya Akineni is just a long name, so my friends decided to shorten it and say Che, which is what I go by also. It's become very familiar with everyone. Yeah.
You have to teach us and all our viewers Telugu.
So to say the same thing in Telugu, it will be Meer ela unnaru.
Me?
Meeru ela unnaru.
Meeru ela unnaru.
Is how are you?
Ela unnaru.
Yeah. Bagunnanu.
Bagunnanu.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Bagunnanu.
Yeah.
Which
Teach me in Hindi.
So मैं आपको हिंदी में सुनाऊँ. क्या हाल है जनाब मोहतरम?
Oh my God. क्या हाल है
जनाब मोहतरम?
जनाबी मोहतरम. This is poetry or something?
This is a little bit of a Mughal-e-Azam style of Hindi. जनाब मोहतरम.
जनाब मोहतरम. What does it mean?
Respected, sir.
Oh.
आपकी दुआ से हाल अच्छा है.
What does that mean? Before I say it.
All good by grace of your prayers.
आपकी दुआ से हाल अच्छा है. Okay. आपकी दुआ से हाल अच्छा है. I think I need to take classes after the interview is over.
Let's move forward. I want to talk about your family.
Okay.
You know, a popular channel's tagline is, when you do something for 100 years, you get very good at it. So he belongs to a family which is popularly known as Akineni.
Yes.
Dagubati family.
Yes, my father's side is Akineni and my mom's side is Dagubati. Yeah.
And you are directly related to Rana Dagubati.
Yes, he's my first cousin.
He's your first cousin.
Yes.
He's a maternal cousin.
Yes,
Mama Kavita,
yes,
right?
That's right. Yes.
And you're also directly related to Venkatesh.
Yes, my uncle.
And of course, Nagarjuna.
Yes, my father.
So, Nageshwara Rao.
Yes, Akineni Nageshwar Rao is my dad's dad. My grandfather.
Dad's dad.
Yes.
So he spent 75 years in the film industry. He was awarded with Dada Saheb Phalke Award. He was awarded with the second highest Indian civilian honor, which is Padma Vibhushan. And then we have Dagubati Ramanaidu ji.
Yes.
He has produced more than 150 films.
Yeah, he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the maximum number of films produced. Now, you saying all this is putting a lot of pressure on me. Both the families have film studios, which have been started quite some time back. Initially, the film industry was in Chennai, the Telugu film industry.
Right.
And then the Andhra government wanted the Telugu films to be shot in Andhra and shift to Andhra for the obvious reason, because the language spoken in Andhra is Telugu. So my grandfather Akineni Nageshwar Rao was the first to come to Hyderabad and set up Annapurna Studios. And then my other grandfather Ramanaidu Garu, he also came and set up Ramanaidu Studios. So that's where the roots actually started from.
But you know, your father has also spent so many years in the film industry. 3 national awards?
Yeah, I don't know the count, but yes, I think it's 3. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah. Okay. You must be really good at choosing your scripts.
See, about being great at selecting scripts, I mean, no. I mean, I wish I was, but we keep making mistakes from time to time, and the mistakes keep helping us grow. Of course, there's a lot of grooming and there's a lot of conditioning that came from the family. They can guide us in a certain way. But at the end of the day, the decision has to be our own, and that's what the families also insisted. That's what Dad rather keeps saying to me, if you fall, it's okay, you fall. You'll only pick yourself up and learn. You know,
for an actor, for an artist, for a performer, it is very important for his personal life to be stable, happy and healthy for him to perform well. Now, I know many people would have asked you the question in different ways, but I want to know your take on relationships, broken relationships, and how does an artist gather himself up, especially because of this immense public scrutiny. What goes around him affects him too as a performer. After all, he's human. In this high pressure job, wear his boots again and go back to work.
Well, yeah, of course, what happens at home will affect your balance in many ways, and I truly believe that a happy home is always a happy mind. You know, you want to go back to your home, you want to go back to your family. So, yeah, when that balance gets affected, of course, everything around gets affected, but you also have to look at it in this way that I look at it like I've been given this amazing opportunity. You know, I've been so fortunate, so blessed, and there's this responsibility that I have that I should not let go. And I have this audience, the love from the audience. I cannot let them down. So all these factors, and of course the love for cinema. So these are the driving factors that pick me up and, you know, take me to work. But having said that, I've sort of developed a system for myself, or still, you know, I still groom myself every day and keep reminding myself not to let the lines blur. You know, definitely one thing will spill over to the other in some way or the other, but you know, you can control that process. Every day just work on it, build yourself up, work on the craft more and more, and that will keep shining. And you know, in a way it's hand in hand. You know, sometimes when this side of it is not that great, that side will give you that support, or when this side is not great, this side will give you that support. So just try and work on both parallelly, independently in their own way, and somewhere it'll all flow well.
Is there any bitterness
No,
about relationships?
no, absolutely not, absolutely not. In life, there should never be any bitterness.
Yeah.
I feel always come to terms, always come to, you know, find the conclusion and put a reason to it and keep moving on and be happy about everything.
And are you dating?
Huh?
Are you dating?
Am I? I'm going to smile and like be happy about it. What I'm up to, I'm not
Oh,
going to tell
that
you.
headline is everywhere. I got nothing more than that headline. I will only smile. Okay. So you're a trained actor, son of a superstar, grandson of a legendary superstar. And now you're working with Aamir Khan. And I saw those videos where Aamir Khan has actually gone to an event where your father is there, Mr. Venkatesh is there. Was it in Hyderabad?
Yeah, it was so sweet of him. I had this film release called Love Story, and he came for the pre-release event. It was quite a surprise actually. He called me, he said, I love the trailer, I'm going to fly down, and he came down the next day and extended his support. I mean, we were all so touched, and the Telugu industry itself was so happy to have him over there on that stage. It was a lovely moment.
I'm sure Aamir, as a creative person, would have imagined so many collaborations that are waiting to happen. You know, we are waiting to come together and make something like Mr. Rajamouli, like, you know.
Yeah, but Aamir sir, I feel, has always been very for that method. Like, if you look at his previous films like Rangade Basanti or Three Idiots, he's always casted from the south and always kept all the cultures, all the language, you know, basically all different sections of the audience in mind. So, and it's always worked well for him. Working on Aamir sir's set, the kind of importance he gives to planning is something I've not seen anywhere. The kind of importance he gives to screenings, to showing people the film and taking their opinions and fine-tuning the product again and again, I've not seen anywhere. I've only heard of these processes, but experiencing it for the first time taught me so much. No one takes or no one gives that 4-5 months of prep before you actually go to a shoot. I mean, I spent that time with the team, with Advait, with Aamir sir.
And now that you've come to Hindi cinema,
Right.
Are you here to stay? We want more of you.
You guys should tell me on the 11th of August. I think that question will be answered. Just waiting to see how the audience reacts to me, how they own up, and yeah, I think I'm going to make some decisions based on that. My character's name is Bala Raju. He's from this small town called Bodipalem from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
And he's traveled up north, he's traveled, you got me conscious about that. But yeah, he travels to Kargil to fight the war, and that's where he meets Laal. And they kick off on a beautiful journey because both of them, their worlds are so different from what's around them.
Yeah.
I mean, they have no idea about war or about any sort of combat or action. So, and they're just sitting and Bala's dream is to go back and start a chaddi baniyan business. Very simple.
Nice.
He wants to make chaddi baniyan. So
Banyan.
Banyan, okay, there we say banyan. Okay, chaddi banyan, okay. So he's got this whole business plan and all that, and you know, and he explains it to Laal, and Laal is excited. So they just bond over that journey, and they talk about life, and they share their love experiences, and so many things. So it's very cute, their relationship, because of the innocence that both of them have. There's a lot of humor that comes out of it in this whole army setting, which is such a lovely contrast. So I think that's what you're really going to enjoy a lot. And yeah.
As Rumi said, the wound is where the light enters you.
Huh.
3 cheers to all the wounds in our lives and a lot of light in our lives and in yours. Check.
Thank you.
Thanks. Time for a short break on the show. When we come back, we have singer Shilpa Rao unplugged. Remember that song of hers? Kalank nahi, ishq hai, kajal piya. Awesome singer. After the break. Welcome back to Now Showing. I'm Atika Faruqi. Fukre star Richa Chadha named a French comedy when asked to pick a film that changed her life by my colleague Vishal Chatkara. It's the film that has not just left a big impression on her mind, but also the one with which she relates the most often. Listen in.
The film that changed my life was a French film called Emily, made by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. I was in school, I think, and when I first saw it, it was coming at that time on TV. It really made me open my eyes to another way of cinema. For me, it was a film where I could, for the first time, find a heroine that I could identify with. As a girl who works in a bar slash cafe in Paris, and she really believes that the world is a beautiful place, that her neighbor needs to paint and her dad needs to travel the world, that there is this guy who needs to be saved from oppression of his boss. He's selling vegetables on the road, and at the core of it, she needs to find love, and she does. She's very intrigued by this guy who takes pictures in all the photo booths, and throughout the film she's always looking for him because she's wondering if he's like her also, trying to take pictures in different photo booths. So she always goes there, takes pictures before him, leaves him clues, etc., to just make it more interesting. Last year I was on the jury of the Marrakesh Film Festival, and on the jury was the director of Emily. So for the longest time I couldn't even talk to him because I was so tongue-tied, because I had been such a big fan, such a huge fan of this film. I've seen it so many times. I have sound boxes and little music boxes of this film's soundtrack, and art and like coasters and posters and things. So I was really happy to be with him. I can always connect with the do-good intentions of the protagonist and her need to find that sort of pure love, uncomplicated love.
Coming up next is the velvety voice of Shilpa Rao talking about her new song from the film Laal Singh Chaddha, her experience of recording songs with A.R. Rahman and the Ilia Raja. We all love her song Khuda Jaane Kyun Main Fida Hoon. We love her voice, really. So here is an interview with Shilpa Rao.
ना हो के भी करीब तू हमेशा पास था, के 100 जन्म भी देखती मैं तेरा रास्ता, जो भी है सब मेरा तेरे हवाले कर दिया, जिस्म का हर रुआ तेरे हवाले कर दिया, जो भी है सब मेरा तेरे हवाले कर दिया, जिस्म का हर रुआ तेरे हवाले कर दिया.
Shilpa, your new song titled Tere Hawale which is a duet also featuring the voice of Arijit Singh, is out. It's a romantic number from the film Laal, Chaddha. You know, you are somebody who's been part of the music industry from over a decade now. Does the release day of a new song still feel like a big deal to you?
Yeah, it feels like like kal result aane wala hai. So I wanted to go to bed and like thoda 9 baje गाना आएगा, I'll get up आराम से and check out the response and all that. But 2 days that really do that to me, when I first get a call when I have to go and record, and the second day when the song is releasing. Obviously, you feel the jitters. Yeah.
How's your equation with Preetham changed in these years?
Preetham, I'm fortunate to work with him, and I'm even more fortunate to be friends with him. I think the best thing that we don't talk about work. We talk about everything else. We talk about food. We talk about. I think when we were recording, we had lots of ice cream on this recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Preetham was there, Amitabh, Arijit, me. We just ordered tons of ice cream because we just felt like eating ice cream. So हम लोग बैठ के ice cream खा रहे थे.
Isn't it
So-
ice cream a no go for singers when they're recording?
No, I think it depends on your body type. What
Okay.
for me, bad oil is not good for me, for my throat,
Okay.
and ice creams are okay.
You've also been experimenting a lot with your own song. You have created a cappella version of your songs like Bulleya from Air Dil Hai Mushkil or
Hmm.
from Ludo.
Hmm.
So what inspired the decision to do a cappella versions of these songs?
Well, there's nothing more beautiful than having vocals singing in unison, in harmony. I think that is one of the most beautiful things that's why when you go to a church and you listen to a choir, it really makes an impact on you, and that's the power of vocals, because I think one of the most true ways of expressing yourself. So yeah, a cappella, that is why. Main reason is that मुझ में अगन है बाकी आज़मा ले, लेकर रही हूँ खुद को मैं तेरे हवाले, बेरांझना बेरांझना, रांझन ते यार बुलिया, सुन ले पुकार बुलिया, तू ही तो यार बुलिया, मुर्शिद मेरा तेरा मुकाम कमले, सरहद के पार बुलिया, परवरदिगार बुलिया, हाफिज तेरा मुर्शिद मेरा.
Shilpa, you of course have worked with Alia Raja and with A.R. Rahman. How different or similar these two stalwarts are when it comes to creating music?
So Raja sir's way of looking at music is that there's a certain tune and there's a rhythm structure. We need to follow that because that's his vision, which is his way of composing. With Rahman sir, I think he gives you that space to do your thing on the song, and he loves musicians, he loves vocalists, and he always says, Shilpa, if you had to sing it, how would you do it? I want to see your take on it. So that's his way of approaching a song. मुड़ी मुड़ी कहाँ मैं मुड़ी मुड़ी इत्तेफाक से, जुड़ी जुड़ी जा कहाँ मैं जुड़ी जुड़ी इत्तेफाक से, घड़ी घड़ी क्यों मैं क्यों उड़ी मैं उड़ी, घड़ी घड़ी क्यों उड़ी, जुड़ी जुड़ी क्यों मैं क्यों उड़ी मैं उड़ी, जुड़ी जुड़ी क्यों उड़ी, क्यों मिले जुड़ी मैं उड़ी इत्तेफाक से, मुड़ी मुड़ी कहाँ मैं मुड़ी मुड़ी इत्तेफाक से, जुड़ी जुड़ी जा कहाँ मैं जुड़ी जुड़ी इत्तेफाक से. So it's difficult song.
Well, lovely words you have. We are just days away from the Independence Day. Which are your favorite patriotic songs?
There are many songs that we have grown up singing in school. I think Vande Mataram was one of the very you could feel it in your heart when you sang it, because even as a child, you won't understand it, but then there was a sense of connection with it when everyone sang together. And The Legend of Bhagat Singh has been one song, one film that has been very special to me. I remember watching it when I was in school, and yeah, it, especially Mera Rang De Basanti Chola, I think Rahman sir composed it so beautifully, and yeah.
Would you please like to give us few lines?
O mera rang de basante chola, mahe rang de, mera rang de basanti chola, mahe rang de, mera rang de basanti chola, rang de, rang de, rang de basanti chola, mahe rang de.
Once I had heard Shilpa Rao sing in a concert, and she had thousands of people swooning, crying, and hysterically singing with her. Music has that effect on you. Anyway, leaving you with that twinkle in your eye. Watch good cinema and listen to good music. It does change lives. I'm Atika Faruqi, signing off. Goodbye.